What's up, guys? Welcome to Do Good Movement. Our purpose here is to make a positive impact in our society through real-life education. The movement comes into play when you guys share the content to help other people do good just like you. Man, I'm excited. This has been a long time coming, guys. This is our first show. And I just before I get into it, I want to say thank you to all that have influenced me, inspired me to set this thing up and get it going. I also want to say a huge thank you to my team to carve out time out of their days to do this. We're really doing this for you guys, to benefit our society and just to help people. And that's been on my heart ever since I was younger. That's one thing I would say I'm born with, is a heart to help. So I want to give you guys a background about me a little bit to share who I am. And I think it's going to lead into, why we're here today and doing this podcast, doing this show, doing this movement. I would say my life started around 18. Real life, big life, when things got real. Fresh out of school, very ambitious guy, driven, wanted to do big things, wanted to accomplish big things, and just wanted to show the world what I was made of. I wanted to experience the things that this world has to offer. I wanted to check off my childhood dreams, and I just had grit where I wasn't going to ever stop until that was done. And when I first got into business, the purpose was one thing, and then as time went on, the purpose has changed. And it's just like anything in life, guys. You start one thing one way, and over time, it changes. Why you're here changes, what drives you changes, and what that next thing you want to do changes. And that's the cool thing about life. And that's why I love business, is it really forces me to do different things. It forces me to be bigger and better than who I am, and it challenges me every day. And that carries over to what goes on in my life here. So at this early age, 18, in 2012, when I got into business, I had a lot of people around me that invested into me and educated me and showed me paths to go down. I've also had people in my life that were people I did not want to follow, and I had a good moral compass of good and bad. And so as I'm going along and checking off these years, I've accomplished some really cool things, and I'm very grateful for them. And when that bucket list started getting checked off and that the next thing wasn't always there, my drive started to get lower and lower. And I hit a point in my life, very financially successful, and just lost. I didn't know what I was doing all this work for, created all this stuff for. I thought, having the big house, the cars, all this cool shit, being younger, being a playboy, all that was the life everybody dreamed of, and is going to be the fulfilling life that, you see all over the place. You said, I want to live that life. I want to do whatever I can to get there. Well, I didn't think about what happens after that. And, recently, I'd say a couple of years ago, I got to that spot. And, when I talk about the bucket list of checking off things, it's not just a big house of cars and all that stuff. Started a really amazing family, got a beautiful wife. I have a daughter, 2.5 years old. I have another daughter on the way. We live a really cool life as a family. We're happy, and we're accomplishing a lot of things. And I knew there's more out there. And when I started getting back to bottom as I was before I got started, and I was kind of lost in life, when you're going through school and just like, what do I do next? And having that fear, I got to that same point with all the cool shit. And it freaked me out for a little bit. And so I'm a deep guy. You guys probably know that by now. If you follow me on social media, you could see I like to get deep. And I got deep, and I said, you know what, Dillon? What's next for you? And so I happened to look around as I built the financial success at the time. I started looking around, and I happened to notice people that didn't have that. And so I kept asking myself, what's the difference of me versus them? And what I came out to learn was there was no difference as us as people. We all bleed red. We're all human. We're all born the same. The people I was seeing were people who lived in America like I did. And I noticed the difference was one thing, and it was experience and education. The one reason I was able to check off those things on my bucket list and live the life that I've been living is through the education that I gained through the people who have invested into me and the people that were willing to answer my questions. I'm very open. I'm very curious. I like to learn. And a lot of people were open back to me and would teach me things. And so the only different thing that I had from the person I used to be, the regular guy, going through all the same shit that everybody else goes through, to checking off the buckets on my bucket list was just education. So, as I said, I have a big heart, and I like to see people happy. And when I notice there's people around me, and people I run into, day in and day out that weren't happy, it's because they didn't find their purpose. They didn't know what they're living for, just like me at a time. And I said, you know what? I like people. I like to see people happy. How do I make deposits into people like somebody's made a deposit into me? I wasn't born like this. There's people invested into me to get to where I wanted to go. So a couple years ago, I spent some time on social media, went way out. My social media page was all about cool stuff, sand cars, all the toys and all that. And I just did a complete pivot. And I started going deep and sharing different tools and tricks and thoughts and theories and my opinions. And sooner than I realized, I got a lot of responses in my messages. And I read through these responses, and they're amazing, guys. They're life-changing. People are literally saying I'm changing their life. And all these, they're writing me things, all these they accomplished, and all this thank you. And so that one thing that fired me back up, and I felt good. And I said, this is it. This is my purpose. This is what I want to do. How do I go do this? Well, there's a couple ways you could do it. Today, or this year, I'm 28 years old. I run a company over $100 million in revenue. I've been very fortunate, blessed. Sales double each year. Have an amazing team. Have an amazing people around me that continue to lift me up, to continue to lead me in the right direction. And I said, you know what? Do we have funds to give back? Of course. But I look at life similar to how I look at business. And I look for things that are sustainable, that could go on over and over and over again. So I had three options. Do I build a charity? Do I donate a charity? Or do I make deposits into people like how people made deposits into me? Which one's more sustainable? Well, business is good today. With our ambition, our people, I think it's always going to be good. But something could happen there, right? One thing you can't take from somebody is their education, what they learned, who they are on the inside. So that's what I picked. That's what we're doing here at Do Good Movement. That's why I invested into this podcast room. That's why I built the team around me to put their time into this, is to give that education back, because that's sustainable. There's things that we're going to talk about here, guys, that you're going to be able to learn that can change your life and can change lives around you. So before I get in to the heat of this show and what we're going to talk about today, I want to touch on one thing. If you guys are in a place, which all of you are, all of you have something to offer, you guys have learned something that could help other people, get up and share it, all right? You didn't just end up where you are today because you're smart, because you're a superhuman. You ended up where you are today because people invested into you. So just like I'm doing here, it's your time to pay it back. Now, if you don't want to set up a podcast, you're uncomfortable doing that stuff, that's okay. One thing you can do is share what you're learning here, forward the show to somebody that you think it's going to impact, and that's one way we could do this together. Now, I like to go deep, guys, and I hope you do too. I'm not a surface kind of guy. I don't like to just ask how your weekend was. I want to know everything about it. I want to know your ups and downs. I want you to know my ups and downs. I like to connect as human. I don't have time to talk about surface conversations, nor do you. Now, if you're listening to this, that tells me one thing about you. Just like myself, you want to do better than where you're at today. You want to help people or you want to help yourself. We're one of the same. And I'm very thankful for you guys to support us in what we're doing here today. Now, this first topic that we're going to cover on the Do Good Movement show is time. And I picked time for one reason. It's going to make us think. It's going to make us think very deep about what we're doing today and how we're spending our time. Because if I can't get you guys to think deep and understand what time means, the other shows I do aren't going to make any damn sense to you. You're going to be this, whatever, I'm okay. Look, we're all trying to figure it out on all different levels. The level I'm trying to figure out and the level you're trying to figure out on, it's the same damn path. We face the same things and have to overcome the same mental challenges to get on to that next level. It's no different, all right? So everything we do here is going to be relative. Now, before I get back into the topic, I'm sorry, I want to talk to you guys about the structure of this show. Today I'm here by myself. I wanted to do this by myself for the first podcast, but in the future, I will be bringing different people onto my show with different backgrounds, different experiences to connect with everybody. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Some things I talk about might not relate to you. I guarantee there'll be somebody on the show that's going to be sharing their life experience, something they learned, a real life education that will connect with you or somebody you know. That's going to be the really cool thing here. So with time, guys, time is one thing you can't buy. It's one thing you can't get back. And it's one thing that has an expiration date that runs out one day. And I know it's hard to think about, and a lot of people don't like to think about this, but it's really damn important to think this way. There's going to be a day we're not here. You and me. Done. Gone away from this earth. Hopefully that's in 100 years, but that can be tomorrow. Think about that. Think about not being here tomorrow. Would you live your day any different today knowing that? The answer is yes. We would all live our day well damn different than we're doing today. So why aren't we? Why do we live this life like it's promised forever when it's not? So now knowing that and thinking about it, and I hope you guys think deep about this and spend time thinking about it, it's something I think about every single day. That's how I'm so driven, guys, to go conquer the damn world and do everything I possibly can do because I know my time's running out here, and so is yours. So I'm going to maximize my time and do everything I can do to live the life I want to have, to impact the people I possibly can have because it will be gone one day. And every day, guys, every day we get to start again. Don't wait for the next life to see how it ends up. Tomorrow, you could start your next chapter. You could start that next chapter next hour, in the next hour. So if you're not happy, guys, change it. Do something different. Challenge yourself. If you don't like the way you look, you don't like the way you feel, you don't like your job, you don't like the people around you, you're lonely, you're bored, you're content, you're comfortable, you don't care to be here anymore. Change that tomorrow. Act like tomorrow's your new life. Focus on your time. Use your time with intent and live the life you want to live. Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable. You're used to being the way you are today. You're used to waking up at a certain time. You're used to going in to that job. You're used to having that relationship that might not make you happy. Have the conversation. Take some risk. Try some things that are new. And if it doesn't work, guess what? Tomorrow's a new day. You get a restart every single day. Why? Why aren't you doing that? What are you waiting for? That's time for us, guys. And we need to maximize it. And that's what I started doing as I got through business and hit these different levels. The time thing that really woke me up with time is competition. I'm in an industry that's growing. It's a newer industry, and where everybody in this industry is in this big rat race to be the first guy at the top. We want to be the Home Depot. We want to be the Lowe's, the Walmart, the Amazon. It's really forced me to figure out how to maximize my time instead of walking and sit at the same damn desk I used to sit at. Because if I'm not doing that, somebody else is going to go live the life that I should be living. They're going to eat our lunch as a business, and then I'm left with no business. That's why I work so damn hard. I have a whole big team to be responsible for. And if I don't put in my time, and I don't take time with intent, and I don't drive this thing, then we lose it, and somebody else does. So when I started realizing that in my business, I started looking at my personal life, and things got real. I was sleeping in. I was getting home, going on the couch, watching Netflix, cracking a beer, not exercising because I didn't feel like it. Didn't reach out to my family, did things that just made me feel good for a little bit. And then I started thinking about business and thinking about time and said, what the hell am I doing in my personal life? I'm not taking advantage of the time that we have here. I'm acting like the time's always going to be here. And guess what? That did pull me away from my business a little bit because life for me isn't all about business. When I talk about success to you guys, when we get into this podcast, success for me is happiness. I think that's success for everybody. It's not about how much money you make. It's not about what you look like. It's not about who you know. It's not about how many followers you have on Instagram. Success is how you feel. So success could be different for everybody. And my happiness, guys, is people. I love people. I love being around people. I love inspiring people, having deep conversations. I love being around my family. And I noticed I was spending a lot of time at my business. I love my business too, but if I was gone tomorrow, did I spend my time wrong? Probably. And that's why I realigned. I have this checklist that I follow each day, guys, to keep me on top of my toes on who I am. 1, I wake up and I think about not being here tomorrow. 2, I've learned for me to have the energy and to have the drive, I need to exercise. I'm used to those endorphins. I exercise for an hour and 15 minutes every single day regardless. I have a diet. No dairy, no gluten, no fried foods. Unless I'm on vacation, I love to have some ice cream with my little girl. But I have a diet, and the reason why I'm on a diet is not necessarily to look good. I like to look good because it makes me feel good, but I'm on a diet so I feel the best. I operate the best. It's clean eating. So when I'm around people, I'm my best self. I had to figure out what makes me the best me. Then I reflect. I spend 5 minutes reflecting on my life because I'm a future guy. I'm always looking at the big next thing. And sometimes I need to slow down and look back at how good life really is. Then I spend 5 minutes visualizing on what is that next big thing. Then I read 20 pages of a self-improvement book because I'm looking to get better than where I am today. I listen to different podcasts all the time, but I'll spend 20 minutes or time at night to read 20 pages of a book. When I'm in town and my family's in town, I'll spend an hour of uninterrupted, dedicated time with my family. Yeah, that probably doesn't sound like much, but shut off your phone, shut off everything, and just have a laser focus directly with your family. You're able to put some pretty good damn time in there. I have to accomplish 3 wins for the day. I need to feel good about my day that it didn't go to waste, and I need to make one person's day. I need to help somebody out. I need to make that deposit where I made somebody's day where they're happier than shit when they go home. That's my recipe. You guys will probably have a different recipe, but for me to maximize my time, I had to learn what makes me the best, and that's the list that makes me the best. It's extremely challenging. There's nights I go to bed at 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, get up early. It's hard, but I'll sleep when I'm dead. I could have an energy drink. I could have some coffee, or I'll catch up rest on another time and get my day done early. And all other thing to that list, guys, I just thought about it was I will write out what I need to accomplish the day before. So when I walk into my day, there's an actual intent purpose to live that day and I don't go to bed until that's done. See, you guys need to get out of living the routine life of just waking up and saying, this is me. It doesn't have to be like that. And it's not just going to change. You're not just going to meet somebody and then somehow you got this secret sauce. You have to get to a point and say, I need to make a change here, and I'm going to make a change because I want to live a better life for myself. And I could tell you what, guys, if you could make a better life for yourself, you now know the secret recipe to make a better life for other people. I want you guys to wake up tomorrow, and I want you to think about time different. I want you guys to live tomorrow with intent. I want to see you guys happy. Now, why the hell am I doing this? Why am I spending my time talking to you guys on how to get better? Very simple. The more I hear about you guys doing better, that helps drive me to do better. I love to see happy people. I love being around people that are motivated, driven, trying to do things different and bigger than who they are today. Our world doesn't have many people like that. I have a daughter, and I live in this world as well. And my daughter's probably going to have family as well. And until we start living a better life and helping people live a better life, what do you think this world's going to turn into? We can't do this alone, guys. We don't live in a city by ourselves, working a job by ourselves. We do this with people. So make deposits into people. Help educate people. Let's all do things bigger and better than where we are today. We're, one, going to feel good, and two, we're going to help other people feel good. It's a hard thing to do, guys, but I could tell you what, I was your regular, standard person that you'd ever meet in your entire life 10 years ago. And there's somebody like me that woke my ass up that I'm doing to you guys. So I went very deep in this first show, and I did it on purpose because I want your brain to think, and I want you to be influenced and inspired to come back and listen to what we're going to teach you here, because we're going to teach you some very tactical stuff. We're going to educate you guys on how to go master life and to do some really big things and live a life full of success, full of happiness, the life that you are supposed to live here. Nobody wants to see you sad. Nobody wants to see you unfulfilled, including myself. You're here to win, and I'm here to win too. And there's enough room for all of us to win together. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you listening to our first show. We're just getting started. This is going to be a great movement. We're going to make very, very, very big impact here in our society. I appreciate the support. All you guys have shot me messages over the years. You guys are the ones who really pushed me to come out here and start this podcast. Thank you for getting me out of my comfort zone and keeping these secrets to myself and just living that secret, amazing life by myself and forcing me to come teach you guys my secrets on how we are doing what we're doing here and bringing other people to show you the same thing. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.